What? Go on, serenade us then if you're gonna do it. We're live now.
To be serenaded.
Oh. I'm not doing it.
Cowards.
I don't want to put him on the spot.
Where's my...
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Variant Rules and our Wednesday. It's Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Our Wednesday night stream, Sundered Realms, which is our custom Forbidden Lands setting. I'm very excited to bring you all of my wonderful guests here. Let's go around and kind of introduce ourselves, where we're from, what we're doing. We will start today with the man in the bottom left corner. That is the Uninformed RPG. Jordan, tell us a little bit about yourself, your channel, and also what your favourite American muscle car is.
Ooh, go on then. I'm Jordan. I'm Uninformed RPG on YouTube and on Twitter at Uninformed RPG. I make videos about being a new player and tips and advice, basically. It's all very good stuff. And also, I'm in them, so they're the best.
You are in
My
them,
favourite
can
American
confirm.
muscle car. Oh, God, I'm going to screw up the name. The only one I could think of off the top of my head was the Ford Mustang.
Oh, bloody classic, mate.
It
Absolute
is a
bloody classic.
Specifically a 67 Mustang.
Specifically a 67 Mustang.
It's a good year for Mustangs.
It's a good year. Sure, it's a good year for wine. It's a good year for Mustangs. That's what we like to hear. So, moving on from Jordan, the wonderful, enigmatic Jordan, we will go over to, who can I put on the spot next? ModKing09, please tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your channel, and also, what's your favourite wine? Because we've gone from vintage car to wine. There's a throughput here, I'm sure.
I am ModKing09. You can follow me over at twitter.com/ModKing09 at ModKing09 handle. I'm also on Twitch, ModKing Gaming, and I've got my Streamlabs set up, which I've been putting off because of having no time. Probably going to start with some Minecraft because I've just got a server started up. Favorite wine?
Yes.
I've got a delicious Merlot that I have not yet drank. Sat 2 bottles of it sat in my kitchen that I'm saving until I have a really bad day at work. Yeah.
Oh, very fancy. We appreciate a good Merlot here on
yeah.
on Variant Rules. Right.
Yeah.
We'll move on from the wonderful, the incredible hair of ModKing09, which I'm not seeing right now, even though he said he was going to get that all out for us. Oh, is he doing it now? We're going to see the lion's mane. Oh, fucking majestic. We love to see it. We will move. We'll move on to someone who has been described as the slate coaster of the stream. Some may describe them as a visionary in the GOAT TTRPG space, the specific GOAT TTRPG space. That would be the wonderful.
You could have just stopped at visionary.
I could have done. But I didn't want to. We'll hop over, and Morgan, please introduce yourself, your channel, and also, what's your favourite F1 driver ever?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there we go. Don't ask me to
I'm
put the
Morgan,
throughput on that one.
I'm Morgan, aka Tempest, and my pronouns are they and them. I stream and tweet as Tempest TT Games. That's 3 T's in the middle. I do lots of live world building and TTRPG and board game design content. Lots of good fun. And the occasional AP as well. I'm currently doing a solo play of The Sealed Library on Mondays. My favorite F1 driver. What's the name of the Italian guy who's just got like a wild big ass mouth on radio? And he recently retired as well. I always forget his name.
I've also now forgotten his name. I was hoping you would go for like a Lewis Hamilton, or like a Max Verstappen, or like a Sebastian Vettel. You know, like a.
Yeah.
No, I just love his attitude. He's got a real mouth on him when he's driving. But everybody loves him, and I cannot for the life of me think of his name right now.
Awesome. Well, whoever that Italian guy with a large mouth is
whoever that guy is.
So moving on from the wonderful Morgan, we go to the final guest. Some have described him as the host with the most, but he looks a little bit like milk toast. Some have described him like that. I wouldn't. I would say he's the wonderful, the great, the currently very disappointed in me. Sir Nade, please tell us about yourself, your channel, and the last book you read.
What's milk toast?
I don't actually know. I've just heard the phrase.
That's not a thing. Don't invent
Never
that.
heard of him. Never heard of him.
Well, I have heard of it, and so I will Google it in a second.
Yeah, I am Sir Nade. I am playing the mighty, or not so much, the old dwarf from the Sundered Realms, Podwar Ironheart. You can find me over on twitch.tv/Sir Nade. You can find me on Twitter as probably Sir Nade as well.
Sir Nade TTV.
TTV on the end, for good measure. Same on Instagram. Come look at my dog.
You've got a cute dog.
Last book I read. This one, actually.
Oh, he's got props and everything. You guys didn't have props. Where's your Mustang,
This is-
Jordan?
How am I supposed to have props for a person?
This is
Yeah, I'm supposed to
artificial.
have an
Supposed to
Italian
produce
one
an
driver.
This
Italian
is-
F1 driver.
This is artificial intelligence for games. By I think it's Ian Millington. Ian Millington. Good book. You like artificial intelligence in games? Real good. Like a bit of a bible.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that was the last thing I read.
That's a strong read, actually.
Well,
Damn.
there's actually wow. Disappointingly, this was a gift from my friend Carlo, and actually there's now a new edition of it out, and it's like twice as thick.
Oof.
So,
We love them.
when
double
he's
thick
done with
books.
that one, I think I might have to commandeer it. You know?
Good.
Twitter to see the cool dice. What? Sorry, I just got a very weird comment.
Oh, Nade's called dice. The glow in the dark one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the ship, the little ghost
Yeah,
ships.
Little ghost ships. You need
Little
them.
ghost ship boys.
Oh.
They were cool.
Only gets them to have little roses in.
I like dice with little inclusions in, but I always find they're so much more expensive.
Are they also
Yeah.
kind of likely to not be evenly weighted?
Yeah. They
Yeah,
say
but-
things
Yeah.
off.
100%.
Mixed dice normally are more unevenly weighted than like
I know
solid.
the ones. Yeah, the ones that you posted are 3D printed by the maker. I'm assuming they're resin, but you're gonna have different.
Yeah, as long as they're
Different
weighted
densities of
towards the
resin.
20, I don't mind.
You don't want that as a GM, though.
Yeah.
Or
I do if I'm rolling them as a GM.
That's fine. We use an online dice bot.
Gonna crit everyone. It'd be great.
I still think the dice bud's weighted.
Yeah, sure. It's weighted in
Weighted
no
against
one's favour, because when I try and kill you, I don't get shit. When you try and kill my NPCs, you don't get shit. They're just poorly weighted in general.
First session, I almost got blown up by a Dracolich. So, that's...
I mean, in fairness, that was kind of partly on us.
It
I
was
was
also
trying
a
to avoid it, and
Dracolich.
I
No,
could
that
get
was all
attacked.
Hoddle.
Right,
I was
so...
trying to avoid it.
Fuck's sake.
You now.
Right, so, the Sundered Realms is our custom setting set on the world of Barris that was exploded by a giant magical malfunction of some description and is literally held together by all the metal in the world bound into these giant chains. And the whole world is now covered in the Maelstrom, which is this magical barrier that's keeping in all of the atmosphere, otherwise they'll all die. The Maelstrom is the thing that you can see in the background of the stream. Our heroes are on one of these fragments that has been blistered by being so much closer to the sun. There's hardly any water there, hardly any food, and different parts of this fragment are ruled by these kind of despot sorcerer kings known as sovereigns, who kind of exert their taming of the Maelstrom to basically enforce their will on other people. Our heroes are from a stilt town in which was destroyed, and then they started their journey. And for an extra XP, who would like to tell us what happened last session?
Whose turn is it?
So we all did about town, did different things. my character for a lot of the stream was trying to just be a beggar around town, as Nurk. Artigan, Stratis, and Huddle headed to a fortune teller, like a druidic crafty fortune teller, so that Artigan could gain more magics. In that, they were told that they had to. They got a bit of magic and said that there was more. I think if he brought them my eye, which is disconcerting. As well,
You don't need two, right? You got extra.
Yeah, it's very true. We went then to also find later a teacher for Stratis, which we got the sticks from a guy for. She gave over a very nice shiny dagger to them. Then we went to find the teacher. The teacher was on the run, and now we just have these sticks that I'm carrying around. I'm probably going to use them as clubs. Then we staked out the boat for the night and waited on Claret Moore to be released from jail so we could unleash the plan on the morrow. I can't think of anything else that happened.
That's pretty much all that happened. You actually watched the crew of the Fey Dancer leave the ship, and then saw their undead guard there, who was basically this. He kind of had like, from what you can see, a breastplate, but he was like on fire, but the fire was green, a big skull, and he was basically stood at the front of the ship. Just quick retcons in the story. Rereading the magic section, magicians know when things are magic. So, who has touched those sticks and does magic? It's been a long time since you've felt a magical item, but now thinking about it a bit more, there's something magic about them sticks. So, there we go. Awesome. So, Claret Moore is released. She comes out and sees you. Classic Claret. She's already got a bottle of wine from a stall as she walked down to meet you. As you're stood in front of the hastily painted black Fey Dancer sand skiff. All of its sails have been also like really hastily painted canvas, and it flies the flag of the Dread Pirate Cinnabar, which is an old wives' tale, is what you thought about this. The first sand skiff pirate who became so powerful and influential he basically turned himself into a lich. You're not sure if this specific skiff is part of his armada. We found out last time that this is very clearly a merchant vessel that has been kind of outfitted with stuff, and you know that in the legends, the Dread Pirate Cinnabar famously stole one of the fleets, one of the military sand skiff fleets from a pair of sovereigns called the Lovers. You're all now just on the dock. It's nighttime. All of the crew of the Fey Dancer, apart from that undead guard that you think you see, have left and have clearly gone out drinking. You think that's what they do probably most nights. Claret's kind of like leant up against a post, sipping the wine, just staring. And she's like, "Well, he's a fucking big guy, isn't he? And he's on fire. You ever fought anyone on fire?"
Not people.
They finished on fire.
I'm sure, Huddle, you were on fire not long ago as well, so he's been on fire.
You have been on fire. Did it make you a better fighter, do you think?
Well,
They call
I
him
don't want to
Huddle
talk about it.
Flankist.
You sure
That's
moved faster than usual.
sort of like stroke my singed beard.
So, you guys were all talking about a plan last time we were meeting up. What exactly is the plan?
Look towards the knoll.
The original plan was I am a bit of a dab hand at cooking. Was gonna go up as a beggar and offer to cook them all a meal for a tiny bit of change, and in it slip this sleeping poison in the meal. Try and knock them all out. There is an undead guard. He seems to come out at night, so if we do that in the morning, might be a thing. We didn't see them in the day though. Not gonna lie, the undead guard does throw things off a little bit.
I agree.
That That's my plan. We can at least then get the crew out the way with, and then we just got one undead boy. Or we can try and get that undead guy now whilst the guys are off the ship, and then pilot it out of here. I run up, try and pilot it out of here as quick as we can.
Right then, so what's the plan, actually, then? We're just going to storm up the front galley now and kill that fucking thing.
I don't think it's wise for us to go right now. But maybe going in the morning might be better. What might... I'm thinking... Artigan is thinking now, and he's wondering if... So, they've obviously all left, and then this guard has appeared as they've left. Is there anything that he can think of that would be like an artifact that maybe summons a being like this? That could be activated?
You've not seen this thing move. Essentially, like, as they were leaving, it was nighttime, and then basically as they were leaving, you saw like the flames like flicker up, and the thing has basically stood there with flames kind of like licking up its body. You've also not seen it actually move. It just seems to be like staring directly down the gangplank, as if it's either like not very intelligent or not maybe as mobile as maybe you think it is. But you haven't seen it move. Like it's like, as far as you can tell, it's like the only thing that makes it look vaguely alive is the flickering flames that go up it. If you both give me a lore roll, both the magicians, you'll see if how common undead are that are actively kind of on fire, etc. You might be able to gauge like how powerful it is.
I've got 4 wits at the minute, so I'm just going to roll 4 bit.
1 success.
I might push that just to see if I can get any more successes. I can push rolls, can't I, Ben?
You can, yeah.
It's only 1 success still.
Cool. And then, did you just push a roll, Morgan?
Yeah. I
Take
did.
you 2 damage and you 2 willpower.
Yeah.
But right, you both know that if this thing is on fire, you would expect it to. So there's different classes of undead. The kind of undead that is like actively brought up from the underworld is usually like super duper powerful. You need like a year-long ritual to summon this thing. Probably not just going to be aboard a ship. So maybe this is just either a regular undead thing that they've set on fire, or maybe it's just a fancy torch that they've told a bunch of people is an undead thing. But it's one or the other, because you haven't seen them take part in this like really long ritual in order to summon this thing. You would expect something that is like a flame to be like a really high kind of like archdemon-esque thing. Unlikely that that's the case here.
Okay. Interesting.
Do you reveal this information to us?
Yeah, I assume we're discussing it
Okay.
between us. Stratis and Artigan are probably discussing it in hushed whispers.
And
I'm listening and not understanding half the stuff. I just sort of go, so it's not real?
We're not sure, Puddle.
Well, there's
Not
a chance.
real.
No, I mean, yeah.
and the rest of the crews, did you say, has gone into town?
Yeah. They
So
basically
can't-
left this thing as their only guard, yeah.
Either it's an actual guard, it makes sense that it might hurt us, or it's the world's best but also worst guard system. It scares people away, but you can just walk right past it.
I will
Could we
point
send,
out, just very quickly, because Sam made a very excellent point at the end of the last session. He asked me, is that guard stood in the exact same place the brazier was? And I said yes. So,
Okay.
I mean,
So it's interesting. Well, doesn't look like there's any crew aboard. Is it like this is going to sound strange? There's nothing walking in front of the gangplank of this ship, is there? There's nobody walking alongside the ship currently.
there's a few people milling around on the docks, but like the docks kind of like jut out, and then that's where the ship is. But they wouldn't be on the kind of area where you would access the ship. They're kind of just milling around like in front of all of the sand skiffs.
Can I see if this undead guard is looking in one direction, or has it got its eyes on and sort of following the people that are close to the ship?
From what you can see, it's like it looks like a skull and then some arms and a breastplate staring directly down the gangplank. It's not like moving its head or anything. It's literally just staring down the gangplank.
Guys,
Right. We go over a different part. We don't go up on the gangplank. We just go up a different part of the ship.
I agree with what Honest Tooth is about to say. We send him to say hello.
I mean, that's an interesting strategy model.
No, it is
What do you
ideal.
think about that, Nerk?
I was actually going to say that.
Oh.
I think it's a scarecrow. I don't know how you guessed that, Oddle.
Right.
It'll
What?
certainly test the
Yeah.
theory that it's an illusion.
Or we let the captain do it.
I think it'll really test the theory that sort of glance over that it's an illusion.
Claret takes another big swing out of her bottle and goes, "No, well, the fucking captain's not doing it. I'm the most important member of the crew. What if it is a big, scary, undead thing?
Captains go down with their ship.
Not my fucking ship yet, mate."
Fuck.
Would you like me to try? I can get away quickly if I need to.
I mean, it's testing a theory. If there's no one on board the ship and we can get past this thing, we don't even have to deal with the guards. We can hopefully be out before they notice it's gone.
Well, then it seems reasonable that we might. All right, then I'm gonna start walking towards the ship.
Awesome. So, so you're walking like down the dock, right? There's a gangplank actively put across from the ship to the dock, and it's just been left there. Looking up it, it's got a bunch of silver markings. It looks like much more, more put together, and a lot more time has been put into this gangplank than has been put into the rest of the ship. It's been painted black, and it's got these kind of silver markings. As you're getting closer, do you want to give me a quick lore roll?
Yep. One success, I won't push it. Unless you want more successes. Will more successes benefit me, or?
More successes would benefit you, but you will get some information from...
I'll try it, see if I get any more.
Cool.
There we go.
3 success. Yeah, you can basically tell exactly what this is then. So, from a very quick glance, it's obviously something to do with symbolism, which is a magical discipline that you've heard of. And you think what it actually definitely is a power rune that's been... several power runes have been like carved up it. You think that there's something to do... the first one seems to just be more symbolism on top of symbolism. And then going up further are some kind of elemental discipline and magic things. But you will notice that you think you maybe be able to weave around it if you can kind of figure out the patterns. You might be able to walk in a certain way up this gangplank where you're not going to trigger them. It's up to you.
So these are triggering runes.
Yeah, so they're power runes that basically get triggered when someone walks across them.
And then he gets attacked by the power runers.
Not the power runes. No, they're not here right now. They're in a mega rune.
Power runers.
Just a feeler question, Ben. Is this the kind of thing that could be dispelled?
Have you got anything that you could use to dispel it?
Yes.
Yeah, it could be dispelled. You would have to guess at the... You probably can't dispel the power rune the first bit, but you can dispel the spell inside of it. Because otherwise you'll be spending a shit ton of willpower for no real benefit to you.
Okay.
Do you have to do it once for each rune?
You would have to dispel each spell going up if you wanted to dispel them. But I'm not going to make you dispel the actual trigger.
I thought I'd check. No,
yeah, because so just to let you know, the actual trigger costs 3 willpower, so you'd be having to do like at least 4 to disarm them. So what I'm saying is, you just have to spend the willpower to disarm the spell inside it, not the trigger.
Okay then. So, where am I now? Have I reached the gangplank?
Yeah, you can be just in front of the gangplank.
I look back and see, is everyone else just staying where they are?
It's up to them. So actually, Clara is now like leaning up against like a post at the very end of the dock. So she's looking like directly at you. You're maybe 10 feet, 20 feet in front of her.
I'm going to take this time to just turn to Catrice. Yeah. That fiery thing, that must be quite scary, right?
I mean, sure.
Well, it's the first time I've not seen you follow him.
Well, I'm not exactly ready to, like, you know, dive into the heat of battle or anything.
Oh. Yeah, I don't do that either. Strokes my singed beard again.
But Certis is definitely like on the fringe of the group. Like they took steps to follow Artigan, but then when they realized that Artigan was gonna go up to the ship, they just kind of stopped, and now they're looking like almost panicky because obviously they're not within Artigan's space, and also don't want to be. It's a very confusing time for them right now.
Yeah, so everyone's kind of clustered kind of at the end of the dock then, and then you all stood directly in front of the gangplank, like 25 feet away, kind of.
Now I see, like you said before, the pattern of how I could maneuver my way up the gangplank potentially.
Yes, but it's gonna require a move roll from you, because you're not like practiced at doing this very specific foot pattern to get up.
I'm not too confident with. Yeah, I'm not very good at being nimble and dexterous and agile, but I'm assuming this is a pattern I can remember.
Yeah, I mean, once you get up there with one move roll, I'm just going to say every move roll that you want, every time you want to go down and up the gangplank, you kind of memorise it at that point. But it will require the initial one to just get up there without screwing it up, because the runes are like crisscrossed and patterned up.
Fuck it, I'm gonna try.
Oh,
It's literally like my lowest thing, but I'm gonna go for it.
go for it. So there's 3 runes, so we'll say 2 successes to get all the way up to the top.
I said I was doing it. I can only roll 2. So I can only roll 2 attributes. That's all I can roll. So.
Oh, right. Well, do you want to push that, or are you good?
Well, there's no point because I'm not going to get 2 successes. So.
Okay. Right. So you definitely trigger the first rune, and what you hear as soon as you almost immediately put a foot wrong. And what you hear is like a booming voice that you notice isn't coming directly ahead of you, and is coming from the glyph, because now you're aware of the glyph. It just goes, "Who goes there?" And then
I just take my foot off of it.
Yeah, that's all it does.
Yeah, I'm not going to try that again.
I'm
I'm
not
going
getting
to-
spells up. Don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, he's opening the book. Oh no, what's he doing?
Yep.
Don't preface a thing with "that's all it does" and then open the book and start.
That's all this rune does. The first rune, you put the thing on, and it goes, "Oh, do you want to keep going?"
No, I said that.
Yeah, the first rune just says, "Who goes there?" in a booming voice. The other runes remain untriggered.
Right. But I can. But you're saying I need
and-
2 successes to get past the runes, and I can only roll 2 dice. So I'm not.
No. So you failed, right? Right. You hit the first rune. I'm saying if you want to just run up this thing and trigger them all, you can do that. But you've definitely triggered the first one.
Ooh.
The other ones, right? So this first one was just symbolism. The other ones are elemental going up.
Right. if I ran up this, but I cast Deer Dash, would that help?
I will say that Deer Dash will call. So there's 3 more runes going up. If you Deer Dash up it, you think you can get past the end one. With the first 2 not hitting you, but the last one probably would hit you.
Let's do it.
Cool. Right.
You could just maybe you could just build the last one first.
With hearing
Or-
who goes there, I'll have started to make my way a little closer, sort of where Clara is, just in case. How long is this gangplank, by the way? I'm trying to.
The gangplank itself is like 10 foot from the bottom to the top of it. It's kind of like jutted up. The issue is, or like the magical runes trigger like instantly. So with Deer Dash, yeah, he'll probably be able to avoid the effects of multiple of them, but probably not all of them. But you equally don't know what spell it's going to cast.
I think at this point, Stratis actually walks up to Artigan. And I need to know what you think about this. My thought here is I want to just turn over the gangplank. So that you don't have to touch the runes. Or does the magic work in a way that you can activate the runes through the wood?
You don't know if there's anything on the other side of it. You probably assume that the triggering is if this touches something else, so that would still trigger the top rune because you would be moving the top of it onto the boat, and it would trigger whatever happens there. But again, the middle 2 probably wouldn't trigger. You'd also probably trigger the first rune again, that does the booming voice.
Okay. Yeah. I think Surtees is gonna walk up to Artigan, and just be like, we could turn it over, and there might be just a big explosion, but we won't be there. Just the ship will be, and maybe it'll also have an effect on the strange guardian.
That might not be a bad idea. Last time when we were back out in the desert, I saw you have quite an affinity with fire. You can protect yourself from fire.
You could say that, yeah.
Might be best if you use
If
that.
you want, I could probably do it. Yeah, sure, okay.
I'm not asking you to move up this plank if you don't want to, Tritis. I'll help you lift it and move it over, but I think it might be wise. We don't know what doing that might trigger.
So there's. Can Stratis also tell, or at least Artigan tells them, like, what kind of runes that he's noticed on the gangplank, right?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Sorry, yeah, I forgot. I would have done that.
I would say you would have deciphered them yourself, because we've already got 1 success. I'm not gonna. Yeah.
Okay, sure. All right. So, there are other kinds of elements besides fire, though, so we don't actually know.
We don't.
If I'll be protected for it. But we can try. We can always try.
Well, how's about you and me try and lift this thing over? Then I'll step on the first one again and see if anything happens.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna use Firewalker again, and
Cool.
Yep.
I'm guessing that's just power level 1, yeah?
yeah.
Alright, give us a roll, just in case you get a magic mishap. Spell always triggers, even if this is a skull, but you have to make the roll to see if you trigger a magic mishap.
Okay. Remind me what that roll looks like?
It's just 1 BA for however many BA the power level of the spell is.
Right, yeah, okay.
Awesome. So what we see is it's dark now because it's night, but the maelstrom ripples kind of red overhead of Stratis there, You, in your mind, hear trick echoing down. That is your echo of the hive there. Trick, as it ripples out. And yeah, Firewalker, you feel your senses kind of numb, like all of your like feeling kind of numbs as your nerve endings kind of are imbued with this magical power. Kind of on the wind, you think you can hear like mandibles clicking from overhead as you channel the maelstrom into casting Firewalker.
Yeah, Expertise does like one of those just whole body shudders. Very small, but yeah, it just takes over them for like half a second, and then they lean down and they're like, "Ready?
Ready when you are. On your count.
3, 2, 1."
Okay. We try and turn the plank over again.
Yeah, you turn the plank over. So, we hear again the big booming voice, "Who goes there?" And at the same time, as the other rune on the boat is triggered, like 3 of the hot coals from the brazier that you're now seeing the undead guard is stood in, fly towards you. I believe. Anyone got any armor they want to roll for?
No.
Just take 1 damage.
All of us, or just us 2?
Just you two, because you're stood. It's basically just flinging them forwards.
No.
Just take 1 strength damage each. Actually, Jordan, you take 2 because you're not immune to fire, so it burns you as well. Just 2 strength damage. These hot coals basically like fly directly towards you as you trigger that last rune.
Okay.
Oh, well. I
Well,
mean,
that's...
not pleasant, but that wasn't so bad.
Yeah, I think it worked.
I'll turn to Huddle and go, did the undead guard just fling shit at them?
I'm like squinting. Yeah. That's what happened. Yeah.
Did that undead guard just fling shit at them?
I think so, yeah.
Legion. Fuck it, that's grim. That's horrible.
Good guard system. We might be able to use that if it becomes our ship.
Aye, hopefully we can.
New name of the shit flinger.
I'd prefer the Fade answer, if I'm honest with you, love, but good idea. And she then strolls forward and, like, claps after the gun on the back, like, well, after you turn the board over. Everything's safe now, right?
Hey, I went first last time. Does someone else want to try?
Bug. Off you fuck.
Sorry?
Go on, up the gangplank.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I mean, Huddle, he's, brave.
Claret gets down on, like, one knee, to try and get, like, she's quite tall. Basically, she's trying to get eye level, but she's having to look up to you because she's like very much misjudged how much taller she is, and she's like, you know what? I've heard about you Krilly. You're always looking to fit in. You know what would make you really fit in as part of this crew? Going up that gangplank for me, and like claps you on the arm. You realise now that Claret is very strong when she kind of claps you on the arm, like almost like shifts you.
With seeing how she just talked to Shatis, I'll be like, too old to way around this shit, and I'll just walk on up the gangplank, just push past everyone like.
So if you remember last time that. No, go ahead.
No, Xerxes like visibly relaxes and mumbles something about, see, I thought I was fitting in just fine before you showed up.
I'll push like between Claret and Stratis as well. It's like,
yeah.
use that.
Claret looks at you, winks, and goes, well, I did show up, and then walks up the gangplank after noticing Honest Tooth doesn't die. So if you remember the bone brazier with the giant spike in the middle of it, what you can now see is the undead guard is a skull and a breastplate and some like skeletal arms basically propped up on that spike. Basically with a brazier around it that has some kind of powder in to make it green. So basically their undead guard that they were telling everyone was part of Cinnabar's Dread Fleet. Just kind of a fancy torch. You have full run of the Fey Dancer. You can see the entire like deck hasn't been painted properly. Like they've clearly started and given up. It's a merchant vessel. It will take you wherever you need to go. The crossbow on the front, you can see, is really shabby looking. The bows are made out of like big tusks, but the tusks are kind of all cracked. And the stringing seems like not correct on the ballista on the front of this thing. All of the rest of the components of the ship seem mostly fine. Going down through the hold, you'll see that they haven't stocked up on food or water or anything yet. They are just kind of chilling here because they think they've got some street cred.
With getting onto the ship not blowing up into pieces, there's a little bit of a... And Nurk steps onto the ship, a little bit of a sigh. Tiny bit hoping he'd just die in a big blaze of glory. He turns around to Clara and goes, well, where you want to go, Captain? I'll go straight up to go to pilot the ship and get all that shit ready.
She, at that point, like, Clara, like, looks around and then goes, we're just gonna take it straight out, yes, because I have a plan. We gotta go find the key, and the key's in the Centurion Grove, and I know exactly where that is, so we should go there. And we all know that, so I don't need to point you in a direction. You know where the Centurion Grove is, right?
Not a fucking clue.
Well, shit. I know a man in Barcoon who can probably get us a map, though.
Sit there then.
Do we know where Barcoon is?
Clara, like, looks around, takes another big swig out of her wine bottle and goes, that way, and then, like, points in an entirely different direction. Oh, that way, yeah. Pretty sure.
At this point, we're already
worry.
breaking and entering.
We need
Let's
to-
get the fuck out of it.
Don't worry, Nurk. If we need to find something, I can help us with that.
Sweet. I'm down with that. I mean, I can see pretty good.
Ooh.
So it's...
As they're getting ready, I just want to ask, just briefly, Hoddle.
Yeah?
Give us a hand getting this gangplank on board carefully. We don't want to disturb any more of those runes, and these languages might be interesting for study.
I was thinking maybe we just, leave it here.
I mean, we need a gangplank to get off the boat at the other side.
Do we?
I understand your affinity for diving headfirst into random shit, but I tend to live my life a bit more cautiously.
I
enjoy-
10 minutes ago.
I enjoy a fight. I don't like standing on bomb traps. There's a big difference.
Let me put it another way. Hoddle, would you like to lift heavy thing?
Uh,
Is that a guess? Sorry, my mic cut out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can quite easily pull the gangplank onto the ship. I assume you pull it over so you don't trigger all the runes, but yeah, you pull the gangplank back onto the ship, stow it away. You're ready to set off if you want to just leave straight from where you are and go to Barcoon. If you want to leave
Yeah,
Cavasos
I
right now.
will.
Yeah, I think we've all got resources. Has anyone not got any resources? Or
I got food. I got
we've
water.
got some? Yeah.
Um,
think we
Yeah,
can-
I mean, I don't have any water resources.
You can share my water for now. We'll get you some water
Okay.
when we get to Barcoon. GM?
Barcoon, yes.
Barcoon.
Good.
How, from Claret's somewhat like 75% trusted instructions, how far away is Barcoon?
Well, now we got a soundscape. It's a lot fucking closer if you think about it. 4 days, I think. Maybe
4
5.
days. Right. That's interesting. But
Can I suggest we don't go there by the straight route?
yeah, no, that's fair. If those guys can catch up to us, we may as well just keep fucking going.
Well, I'm going to be honest. We've kind of stolen their only way of getting to us, right? Like, what, they gonna fucking come after us in a little on foot?
We don't know if they can get
Said
word.
it was a whole fleet.
Well,
Child.
yeah, I also thought that this was a real undead creature, and she like pokes it with her bone scimitar.
Got a bit of a point.
The skull like falls off at that point and like rolls down the deck of the sand skiff.
Oh dear.
So I'll just lean into Catrice at this point. Go, my child. I'd be impressed if we can find the straight route.
I think they shrug.
I literally the second I can get this ship moving, I'm just getting it going straight out of port.
Yeah, you're getting all the rigging
Okay,
together. As the ship is about to set off, we see like running down the dock is the 4 crew members like being like, no, hold up, wait, as you're kind of pulling off. You're just flipping them the birds. You're just gonna let them.
Letting out a knowlish cackle as I go, just like
Look and cover.
Yeah, they throw like rocks and stuff, but it just kind of like pings off the side of the Fey Dancer as you kind of pull out. You're kind of going off into just the Black Seas as they are, and basically you see for a second they're confused and just waiting on the dock, and then one of them says something to the other ones, and they all like run off together. Maybe like half an hour later, you notice another sand skiff has started to put all of its lamps on and is getting ready to pull off in pursuit. But you'll be like an hour or 2 ahead of them. You've still got the brazier lit, so you're still lit up.
So with seeing this, I'll turn to Clara and go, so we're probably going to be followed. Those guys seem to have a backup. I don't know. Either way, let's put out the brazier and let's talk about rebranding. I know you like Fey Dancer, but now that name of the ship has a bit of a, bit of a history. What about the Burning Fey? Matches your name, red. Step away from green. I don't like green.
Claret takes out what looks like 2 like hemispheres of glass and like lines them up like that and goes, oh, they might have called the Sovereign's guards on us. We probably should have killed them. It's probably fine. Let's just keep going. They're not going to catch us anyway. And they can't go anywhere near Barcoon. They'll be breaking the pact, so let's just run.
We're a bit ahead. Yeah, let's just keep going. Definitely, let's see if we can lose them on the way. Head straight there, but if it's still night, put on the brazier, they might lose track of us.
Cool. As the captain, as the helmsman of the ship, can you do me a lead the way roll, which is a survival, please?
Okay.
And does someone want to be getting kind of looking around in the crow's nest, etc.
I'll
for
do that.
obstacles?
Okay. That's not what I wanted to be doing. I
I'll
want
get
to do
up
something
and
else. During this time, I want to be checking the integrity of the skiff.
Cool. Right. So you can definitely do that, and we will resolve that at the end of everything. I assume you've got craft, right?
Survival, yeah.
Yeah. Let me flick over to the dice screen. Survival, please. Was that your roll?
Yeah.
Awesome. 2 successes. Yeah, you managed to. You kind of have this kind of ancestral memory of how these skiffs work, just because you've kind of grown up in and around skiffs your whole life. Because like gnolls are known to basically look after them for people.
Not ride a bike.
Yeah, so you can keep it on the straight and narrow, kind of your rough direction from Claret, like pointing you and being like, "Bring me the horizon, Mister Honest Tooth." Stood on the front of the ship. You're managing to basically like angle all the sails in the wind, and angle your way up like dunes, so you're going over them like actually like very well. Who is doing the keeping watch roll?
You can give that a crack if you want.
Cool, that's a scouting roll, please.
Ooh, not too bad.
With 1 success, obviously you're being chased. That's not great. But also, you managed to basically tell Nurk that if you keep going where you're going, you think you've started to see the tracks of purple worms, essentially, like moving through the Black Sea.
Ooh.
Awesome. Finally, Can we have a craft roll from Hoddle, please? That's strength craft.
Can
Yep.
Can I help him with that? I've got a bit of craft as well.
You can, yeah. Help others. Again, another skill dice to that roll, Nathan. So if you just want to roll one more SK as well. Cool. You want to push that, or are you fine with just one?
I'll push it once. Here we go. Cool.
Cool. So that was 2. So yeah, it's a little worse for wear. Specifically, that ballista at the front, pretty much trashed. But with that roll, you're kind of like you've like attached some like splints to the tusks that were the arms of the ballista, restrung it properly. You managed to find some like lard from underneath the ship and used it to kind of oil the platform that the ballista spins on. And so you basically got the ballista back working. So if it comes to it and you need to fire that thing, it now works. You've not really had time to fix up the rest of the ship. And this has taken place over like maybe like 3 hours. That ship's not got any closer. In fact, you are outpacing it because you got 2 lead the way rolls, but you're still definitely being pursued. With the brazier and everything, like you're and it's nighttime, so you're like basically a point of light in the black sands.
Did I find or craft any ammo for the ballista?
You have found, downstairs you found basically, we'll say 1d6 resource dice of, like, they're kind of like really thin bones with like shark teeth looking things on the top of them. They're ballista bolts.
I turn to Clara and go, "Put out that fucking brazier. It's the only reason why they can keep following us."
Clara looks at you and is like, "How the fuck am I supposed to put it out? Like, it's a very on fire thing. Do you have any water?"
Sand. Sand puts out fire.
Do you have a bucket?
Sand.
Are there any buckets on board?
I pull out a clay jug out of my knapsack and throw it at her.
Yeah. Catches your clay jug like, "You were just fucking carrying that. Never mind." She like leans down, but basically has to like cling on with one hand to the skiff, and then use kind of like the other hand to barely reach the ground, scoops up some sand, hoists it back up, pours it over, and like douses the green flames in the brazier. You're now got no light while you're kind of traversing the Black Sand Sea.
It's fine. They can't track us.
Right, they can't see, but neither can fucking we.
But you know, tit for tat. I'll tell her to keep a lookout at the front of the ship as best as she can with like maybe a smaller source of light, just to see if there's anything directly in our way, and I can.
She's not kind of got anything on her, so she basically just got her sword. She went straight from prison. She didn't really pack for an adventure.
GM question. Hawk's Eye lets me see distant and in detail.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see in the dark with it?
You can see, let's say, not pitch black, but you would be able to see things slightly better than a regular person would.
Okay.
I don't think hawks are particularly nocturnal, right?
Not massively, no.
Yeah.
I could try and use it to give some assistance, though.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to say is the next lead the way roll will be the next like 3 hours of journeying. Basically, because we're in pursuit, you're doing this more often because you're trying to like avoid things.
So am I going to prepare another? Yep.
Yeah. So Jordan's going to help you out, so you get 1. But I'm going to need 3 successes because you're doing this like basically blind, apart from Artagan helping you out here. Anyone want to keep watch to make sure you don't run into anything? That's
Am I doing that anyway, or is that someone else?
You're helping with the other roll, aren't you?
Okay, yeah.
Is that one extra skill? Did you say?
One extra skill dice when someone's helping you. That is correct.
I can copy the one up from here. Right, fingers crossed. And you said I needed 3.
Yeah, do you want to push it?
Fucking do it.
Or, well, take the willpower, but also take the damage from that roll. You're basically, like, really stressing yourself out, giving yourself, like, eye strain. Is that what's survival based on?
Wits.
Wits.
I need to give you
You're just kind of, giving yourself a headache, trying to figure out your way around here.
Sorry, that was a willpower magic mishap roll.
Awesome. Success. You're all good. You're now having to slow down because you're noticing like it's getting a bit more rocky in this part of the Black Sand Sea, and that's allowing the other ship to kind of catch up. They're not near you yet. They're about the same distance they were when you set off from Cavassar.
Do I know if... So, you said about breaking the treaties if they got in Barcoon. It's the sands just free reign, or is there a certain amount of area?
You're kind of in international waters at the minute. But you... So basically, like, a day's walk out from a sovereign's territory is usually where they say their territory is. Sometimes if there's little, like, stilt towns and stuff, they'll claim that they're essentially part of it. But drawing a sovereign's territory on a map is quite difficult. It's usually just like, where can they exert their power? That's kind of where it is. They're so far apart that they don't really need the specifically defined borders, but it would be like, if this ship ran across another sovereign ship, they would probably fight.
Okay. I'll keep an eye out for any other ships on the horizon as well, as best as I can.
Awesome. Who was doing the keep and watch roll?
I can do that.
Give me a... I believe that's scouting roll.
Scouting is wits.
Yes. I need 2 successes just because, again, pitch black.
Oof. Okay. I don't actually have any skill in scouting, if anybody else wants to. Okay, let's see.
This is sort of where my character shines, really.
You probably shouldn't be on the ship then. You should probably be keeping guard. So you don't notice anything's wrong, Scratis. You think everything's fine. You can't really see the sand clear enough without the light to be able to tell if there's any tracks or anything. What's Hoddle doing with his next 3 hours?
Gonna keep working on the ship. I find quite a lot of peace in being able to craft things again. So I'm just not necessarily sometimes cosmetic, sometimes fixing the odd plank here and there, nailing things back down that might be a little bit loose.
You want to give me a crafting roll?
Yeah, go on then. You'd like one?
I would. I will give the ship a permanent benefit if you can get me 2 or more successes.
There's one.
Want to push it?
There's you
Yes.
2.
Take a willpower, take the damage. So now when you're doing any kind of rolls to do with sailing the ship, you gain 1 gear dice on top of everything. Basically what's happened is Hoddle's like climbed down, fixed the rudder up, made sure it's pointing straight, so it's much easier to actually steer the ship now. We will do 1 last round of Lead the Ways and Keeping Watches because something is about to happen.
Ah, fucking... don't you doom me.
What does he get now? An extra dice on what?
This roll for Lead the Way, which is him sailing the ship, essentially.
Just 1 extra on base or skill?
Gear.
On skill?
Gear.
Or on gear? Right.
Yeah.
What do I type for
Getting more books, I'm
GR.
afraid.
Yeah.
Picked up more books.
I did get out more books.
Am I still getting 1 extra skill off of Artigan?
If Artigan's still helping you, that's up to Artigan.
I wouldn't be able to cast the spell again. I don't have another
Okay.
willpower, so.
So I've
Sorry.
took 1.
Come on, Gnurk.
Took
You
1
do
in
get the
there.
gear though, which is at least benefit.
GR, yeah?
Yeah, 1 gear.
Yes.
Oh fuck. This didn't go amazing.
Awesome. So you basically almost run aground. and trying to get yourself out of where you are. The other ship is on your tail now. Who wants to do the keep watch roll?
Do I take the 2 wits damage from that as well?
Only if you push it.
Okay.
Seeing as I'm not doing the spell again, I can probably do the keep watch. I've got some scouting. So
Give me that scout and roll.
not much, but oh no, I need to add the word roll into that. Can I push that?
You can if you want.
Fuck!
Take 2 willpower. So, as basically the ship is now on your tail, Artigan was kind of like, he climbed up into the crow's nest to have a look down. He really couldn't see the sand. And as he's like, basically staring at what he thinks is some rumbling sand, a giant toothy maw, like, rocks out up the side of the ship as we see this giant purple abyssal worm basically like half tip over both ships, so they're like basically like thrown onto rocks, and it's basically looking at which ship it wants to attack first. The ship that was chasing you swivels its ballista round, pops a shot off at it, and basically we see the abyssal worm like just like gets a big ballista round just like embedded in its body, and it just kind of roars very loudly. Can everyone do me a wits? Wait, no. How does a fear attack work? I'm gonna roll some dice. Does anyone have any of the stuff that gives you fear armor? It's
I've
a
got
talent.
fearless. I can roll insight.
Okay. Wait before you do that. This is just going to be a 5 dice fear attack. So everyone's going to take 2 wits damage unless you've got fearless, and then you get to roll insight as armor.
Let me just remind myself what my wits is. That's my insight's better than my scouting. I'm only rolling 2. Get rid of one of them.
Cool. Yeah. So you only take the 1 wits damage. As this
I'm
thing.
guessing having corruptible, that doesn't work on that. That's his manipulate. So I'm guessing that's not anything to do with fear.
No, this is like a straight up fear attack. So bursts through the sand, gets this ballista bolt, and seems to just like shrug it off, and then makes this kind of like warped screaming like screech that kind of echoes around the valley. Like a bunch of sand falls off of one of the bigger rocks in the desert. You see your own like sails like rippling with it as you get this fear attack. So who would like to go first, and what are they doing?
I will jump on the ballista.
Awesome. That's a marksmanship roll with 5 gear dice, please. It is a ballista.
So I still add my base agility to that, right?
Yep. So you're rolling agility as BA, marksmanship as SK, and then 5 GR as you load up the ballista. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yep. And we'll mark down your damage there, sir. So the ballista also does 2 extra damage. So that's 4 damage in total. Yeah, you sink a really deep gash in this thing. We see like basically purple ooze like spouting out for it. It looks like it would be very hydrating. Yeah, this thing just starts like shitting out like purple juice essentially. So Hodler's gone. Nurk, what are you doing?
I don't know. I will just be trying to obviously steer the ship away from this thing.
The ship is kind of like stuck on rocks at the minute. Like this thing, as it emerged, because no one saw it coming, like pushed you all essentially. Yeah, it's got you where it wants you.
I'll shout over to everyone and go, "We need to get off these fucking rocks. Anyone got anything? We need to fucking go." And try to. I don't fucking have much. Is there anything I could do crafting wise to?
Probably
Focus away.
not. You could use might to try and push yourself up if you jumped off onto the rocks, but it's going to be tough because you're moving the whole skiff and all your companions.
No. Yeah, I'm not strong. I'll shout that. If you do other people, get back to me. I might have an idea, but I need to do some reading.
Awesome. We notice Claret now has drawn her bone scimitar and is just pointing it directly up at the thing and striking like a really dynamic pose. The wind kind of hits her. We see a bunch of her like silk sashes are like billowing in the wind as she stood there just quite dramatically. But you notice she's not actually attacking the thing. She's just trying to look really fucking cool. I'm hoping that's enough.
The path of many things I can only use once a day, right?
I think you can use it as much willpower as you have, right?
Okay. I'm a big Dune fan. I'm gonna go into my knapsack again and pull out a drum.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna make very non-rhythmic beats on the drum very loudly to try and look amazing.
Awesome. Can you give me a performance roll, please?
I've got performance. I took performance.
Whoa.
Oh God. Okay.
This thing with its teeth is just like staring down at you, like one success. Cool. Well, I mean,
I'm gonna push that. Why not?
take a shit ton of damage and willpower, but you know what you've successfully managed to do because abyssal worms don't have eyes. It now can only focus on the weird rhythmic drum beat, so you're going to be the first thing it fucking attacks. Sorry, dude.
That's fine.
But you just what you've done there is drawn a shit ton of attention to yourself by like pulling out a bongo and being like, "I'm over here. Why am I doing this?" Just like,
Twice now.
this is becoming a pattern. Down to good old Artigan Windwalker. What are you doing?
Right. Question: is this? You can class this thing as a monster?
Yes, it is definitely a monster.
Not going to work then. Are we grounded? Did you say we've run aground?
You've run aground. You could try and jump off and try and push this thing, but it's going to be a toughie.
I want to try and look for somewhere that we can hide. We need to get off the fucking boat and bed camp down somewhere until it goes. So
interesting. So you're on like a few rocky outcrops.
I want to tell you what. I want to cast
Oh,
Hawk's Eye again and look around to find somewhere that we can go to.
awesome. Give me a casting roll, and then
Yeah. It would have been. It's less dangerous than the thing I was going to do, but the rules didn't let me, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. So what we see is like a few cactuses off in the distance start to wilt as you cast this spell. What does your hawk's eye look like? Do your eyes turn into that of a hawk, or do you have terrifying birds fly out of your face?
It is very much just like Artigan is still a new druid, so he hasn't quite gained the full ability yet to make birds sprout from his head. So it's very much just sort of weird, like arcane, not a flash so much as a shimmer, and then his eyes like glaze over and go white, but he still like scans his head, so he's still looking through his own eyes, but obviously they are massively enhanced.
So you notice that you could like dive into you notice there's like a cave like going down into the earth, but kind of around you, you notice that this is the only ship that is chasing the Fey Dancer, and you can very easily now see aboard because you've cast this spell. And they're all like running up trying to help the ballista guy, like sorting out the ballista because you notice that the arm of it is like fully cracked, and they're all now just trying to fix this thing very quickly. But yeah, you could maybe go down into like a hole into the earth that's like in between two rocks, but because you can't see into like pitch blackness, you don't know what is actually down there.
Whatever it is, it's better than what's out here. I turn to the others and I go, "We need to hide. We need to get away from that thing until either they kill it or it loses interest in them. loses interest in us. We need to get off the fucking boat. Follow me.
Awesome.
No,
I'm
put
sort
that
of-
fucking drum down.
I'm already loading into the boat, and I'm like, but it's already bleeding.
So, Treese, what are you doing?
I'm wondering how close is the Sovereign skiff?
The Sovereign skiff is like almost as if it almost crashed into you because both of your boats got thrown onto the same rocks, so it's like
Okay,
next to you.
And are the crew also affected by this abyssal worm's fear?
Yeah, they have taken it. None of them have cracked yet though. But they did take the
Okay.
two.
I'm wondering, like, can I get a sense of, like, who's in charge on this deck? Like, who's the captain of this skiff?
Yeah, there's a guy who's got like carapace armor and then like plumed like a big plume hat.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Stir the Blood on the captain of this skiff and try to accentuate his fear.
Awesome. What a fucking awesome idea. Yeah, sure.
Love it.
Just roll the power level of that spell you want to cast and
Yeah.
let me know exactly what that
Okay.
spell does. I think it just accentuates the emotion, right?
Yeah, so you stir the victim's blood and bring out strong emotions such as lust, fear, or rage. The victim must give in to these emotions in some way.
Awesome. Right, yeah. So no magic mishap, that's good. You see this captain just what word should we give you? From the echoing down from the hive mind, you basically get kill, like echoing through your head, and then we basically see this guy like look up into the sky, and the maelstrom like ripples out, and it's almost like a bunch of in the sky, like made out of clouds, a bunch of abyssal worms like crawling and writhing in the sky as this guy like looks up, and then he looks at this thing, and you just hear, "Abandon ship! Everybody, abandon ship!" And then he like jumps just straight off the deck of his ship onto the rocks. Like you can like visibly hear his like ankle like, and he's like hobbling, just like running away. Like all of his crew are just like totally confused as this guy is just bolted. Two more people follow him, and then there's just now a ballista crew that are like, "No, brother, we got this." And then they start like, loading the ballista and like pulling the string back.
If I were to throw my drum
Um,
towards them, do you think I could get enough reach on that? Or
maybe on your turn, but you're still playing
Yeah,
your drum, my friend.
yeah,
so-
yeah, I am. I'm waiting to say that damage.
Yeah. Right, so monsters in Forbidden Lands, I don't choose their attacks, I roll on a table, and then you get that, which means that I can't feel bad when this thing fucking murks you. So,
Yes, you
2.
Shame you.
Unearthly Roar. The beast lets out a horrible roar that strikes all adventurers within near and does a fear attack at 5 base dice. You're ready for more fear? So we hear this like warbling, shrieking, rippling sound as this thing hits you with another fear attack. 1 damage to wits, which is a fear attack, and Artigan, you can roll your thing.
So, when you hit 0 left on wits,
Yeah.
it's only then over that's a critical, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Sweet. I'm making sure I got that right.
But you are considered
So I haven't
broken
hit 0
right now.
That's fine. Yeah.
Can I push this?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Well, so
Oh.
this is a game question. If you had nothing kind of stats, so let's say you had 0 on wits, how does that work?
You don't roll anything, you take a critical hit.
If your character has 0 wits, you automatically,
You can't start with 0 wits.
you know.
No.
You have
Okay.
to have at least 2 in all that.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Did you start
We
with
finding
0
out
wits?
that Nate rolled his character completely
Uh,
wrong.
no. I've got 2.
Okay. Have you got any left?
I've got 1.
You got 1 left. Cool. Yeah. The other ballista crew fires. It seems very ineffective when their ballista hits. You're noticing that they're using just like wooden stakes, not the weird bone tooth contraption that you've got. We'll go back over to Hoddle. Hoddle, what are you doing, my guy?
my guy.
As I said, I was loading a bolt in, and I shouted, "But it's already bleeding." I'm gonna finish that sentence with, "You scout ahead. We've got this." I'm not gonna shoot. I've sort of took my hands off it to turn to Artigan to say this. I'm gonna attempt to push the boat off the rocks.
Okay, so I'm gonna need like 5 successes to push a whole boat and at least most of your party
Do it
off
again.
the rocks.
That's
Do
fine.
it again,
No.
mate.
Fucking come on.
You're a stout dwarf. The skiffs are light because they have to be, but they're still,
Come on.
boats at the end of the day, right? So
Right, I'm gonna be honest. We've got a good chance of this.
you have a good chance.
Ju-
of this.
Just base and skills, right?
Yeah,
there's
might
no,
and yeah.
There's no like pieces of wood I could help use
No.
to
No.
try.
Five
My
successes.
drum as a like warrior
He's
beat
not
in the
going to give you
background.
that.
Right. That's it.
To be able to fully
Oh.
push this skiff off the thing, yeah. This is like a
Okay.
feat of near superhuman strength.
Come on,
Ready?
you pushed something over
Ready?
in the past. Do it.
Come on.
Oh,
Oh no, come
You
on.
want to push
Okay.
it?
I can push it once for free, right?
No, you will take damage. Your
Oh.
whole thing is that you can just spend willpower to keep pushing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I can push it
Oh, yeah.
once.
Oh, for
without,
free.
without spending more.
Yes, but
Yeah.
you'll take damage from that skill.
Okay.
Alright,
Ah.
you taking 2 damage.
Yeah. What does a push do? Does it re-roll all the ones that aren't?
Successes or failures, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a willpower to push again.
Awesome.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Does that do it? That didn't do anything.
I
I
think
think I have
that
to do
is...
it again, right?
Yeah?
Oh.
Yeah.
Nothing changed.
That says... I think that 3 means how many times it's gone. Like how many times it's rolled.
Right. Oh, okay, I
That's
see.
it.
Yeah.
Right, so, take 2 willpower, but also you're just, like, straining to push this thing off. Like, your muscles are bulging, you, like, throw out your shoulders, you're trying to, like, push this skiff off, but it's just very barely moving, because it is significantly heavy. Nurk, are you keeping playing your drum?
I will try and throw the drum at the other ship. If whichever's closer. If the people running closer, I'll try and throw it there. If the ballista is closer, I'll try and throw it to them. Trying to make some form of loud noise.
Okay, cool. Give me just a
And then go very quiet.
straight agility roll, I guess, because you're throwing something that's not meant to be thrown, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've took nothing special in agility anyway, so all my agility is straight agility.
Boom. Yeah, you just fucking launch this drum and it just hits the captain in the back of the head and his like fancy hat falls off. And he just like goes down in the dirt 'cause I think that's quite funny. So he's just like lying face down there and his like crew member, his 2 crewmates just fucking run over him and just keep sprinting.
And he's got carapace on, so you would say if the drum hit him, it went ba-dum.
Yes, sure. When the drum hits him, it goes ba-dum, tsh, and the tsh is his nose breaking on the rock.
Love it.
Boom.
With that, I want to say this thing is shitting me up. And did you say there was a below decks to this ship? I can't remember. What
Yeah,
it
there
said.
is. Yeah, there's a below.
I'll sort of hide down a bit more below.
Yeah, you jump from where you control it by the rudder and dart below deck. What's happening? So Claret looks back up at this thing and goes, "Back to hell with you, you bastard!" And then, like, very obviously brushes one of the silks that's, like, by her side, so it, like, dramatically flow as, like, a single crackle of the maelstrom comes out. She's not actively doing anything because the thing's not close enough to hit with her sword yet, but she looks real cool.
She gets out this thing.
Artigan, you'll go.
Okay. Are there... I'm looking out. Is there any wildlife in the immediate area?
There's a few, like,
I've seen-
skittering, scuttling, like, bugs that are kind of, like, this big and cockroach-looking. They've got, like, kind of, like, mandible things, and then kind of crawling, like, to the other side of a rock, so that they're the opposite to the purple worm. The abyssal worm, I should say.
trying to think. I can't command any. I can command beast, but only one at a time.
You could command one of them. They're a beast.
But like one of them. If I can't command the group, so it's going to be useless. So. Sorry, I'm reading spells a second.
So basically, go ahead.
How many people are left on the other ship?
2. There's a loader and a shooter for the ballista.
Yeah, y'all. There's only 2 people left on the Sovereign ship, and the Sovereign ship is not run aground. Just pointing that out for y'all.
No, they're both on the rocks. The thing
they're
came up
both
in
run
between
aground.
your ships and forced you both on the rocks.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
why
I
they
see,
just
I
didn't
see.
run away.
Are they facing their ballista towards us or to the worm?
To the worm. They're firing at it, but it seems like fairly ineffective from where they're hitting it. Because they're using like you've got weird ammo. You've got this like shark tooth bone ammo, whereas they're just firing like wood stakes at the thing.
If Huddle's not on the boat, I'm going to go to the ballista because I ain't got nothing my magic can help me with. So.
Cool. Yeah. You didn't jump off the boat last time? You just tried to convince people to go, didn't you?
I just was shouting that we need to go and no one left.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. You can get on the ballista. Give me a marksman roll. Take the 5 gear dice as well from the ballista. Do you want to push it?
So failures for gear don't give me damage. It
No,
gives
they
the
break
ballista
the thing.
Fuck it, we've got to do something. I'm gonna push it, unless anyone's gonna shout at me not to.
Yeah.
Cool.
Something.
So it was the original.
Very worried we're going to kill this thing, and the other guy's just going to be like, right, fire on them now, and I'm going to be like, fuck, I'm already broken.
Yeah. This is...
Yeah, if you've got no willpower, you're kind of just terrified right now. So another one of your ballista bolts like flies true and hits this abyssal worm, and we see another sprout of this like thick purple gel coming out of it, out the inside of it. So Tis, you'll go.
I think I'm just gonna yeah, I'm gonna go give I haven't really got any skill for this. But what I'd like to do is get everyone to help shove the boat, because we've got the other crew is distracted, and what is it, like up to 3 people can help, so we can get 4 people. We can get Huddle to do a roll and then add 3 more dice to his roll. Maybe we can all move it together. Maybe.
Yeah, you would all be given +1 to Hoddle, and you might be able to get this thing off the rocks.
Yeah.
Basically, the reason you're rolling for it now is just because you're like under stress and you're trying to do it very quickly. You'll be able to get this off instantly once this is like over.
Okay. Is there any point to me just going and joining Huddle, trying to push it on the side? Because there's no way that I can do 5 successes. I'm only really rolling 3 die.
Yeah, but you can give him help for the next round, so you might as well jump down there if you want to help him try and do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then we'll put it that way. Yeah.
Cool.
I'll just join him.
So what it looks like in this round is you've like jumped down and like you're bracing yourself and also pushing, but Hoddle will roll for it with a +1. So the purple worm is going again. Rolling the dice. 6. The ground shatters. The abyssal worm dives into the ground and uses its mass to shatter the ground around you. Everyone within near range falls 2d6 meters and lands prone. So what happens is it basically opens up a chasm in the rock next to you, and you all fall, taking. I believe you just take 1 damage from that fall, but you're all like sprouted like on your back now.
Damage to what?
Strength. Sand has started pouring in, and now it's going to be like quite hard to get the skiff out. You basically need like ropes and like pull this thing out. as you're at the bottom of the chasm. You can now see that.
Finish.
You can now see that the entrance that you were looking at had like a carved stone staircase down to this room. So there is something of import in this little room.
Okay.
Cool. So who would have saw that? So me and Patrice are actually on the sand, right? We're actually trying to push this from off the boat or from the rock at least.
When you were on the rock, he shattered the rock going down, so the skiff and you all fell, and you're all knocked, basically prone. So it takes an action to get up, and then you can take another action. So you can't fire and load the ballista this round. You could only load it.
Okay.
Cool. So Oddle.
How close to the worm am I?
You guys can't currently see it. It's like underground.
Damn it. I'm gonna like head out into the open a little bit, and like, I'm basically gonna try and I'm gonna face the worm.
Okay, so you have to hike up. So the whole ship has fallen in kind of like a cave room, and then there's like a sand dune where all the sands come in. So you can walk up from that. You'll be higher than the ship at that point.
Yeah.
Clara will swing out and go to basically follow you up as well. Nurk, what do you want to do? You felt the whole ship fall down, but I don't think you could actively see outside, so you don't know actually what's happened.
No, I'm like, fuck. So I went under decks. My wits are 0, so I'm
terrified. Yeah, you can't really do much.
Is there anything I see around me of use in this cabin below?
Interesting. You see that. You say that. You see in front of you. Just kind of it's so the ship's fallen like this way, and then kind of the sand dunes that side, and then the cavern is this side. You see like a very intricately done kind of mosaic. That's basically like it's some kind of burial tomb, and you see like a sarcophagus kind of in the center of the room, with like a few rocks piled around it from where the whole thing shattered in. That's what you can see.
I really have nothing. I will load my sling and just launch a pebble nearby just off somewhere else to try and make as much sound away from us as possible.
Awesome. Yeah, you can just launch that, and that's all good and fine.
That's most as I got. Sorry, guys. I'd happily make wits rolls if I wasn't at 0. And everything's of mine's in wits.
It's all good, man. So am I. So it's all good.
Awesome. Yeah, Claret's chasing after Hoddle, going up the hill. Artigan, you are also in the cave. You want to load the ballista again, or do you want to? What do you want to do?
Hoddle and Claret are, I'm assuming, no, like they've gone. I can't see them anymore.
You can just see them. They've like kind of run up a hill.
Yeah, I want to like call for them to stop and just say, "There's no way we can beat that. We're not firing at it, but they are. Eventually, it'll lose interest in us. We need to just lie low." And see, I don't know if that's a brawl, but that's what I'm going to say. And then if I can do anything else, I probably would try and see if I could heal Nurk. I don't know if you can heal wits with.
You probably can't. No, not while you're still actively in a thing.
That's fine.
You could try hide if you want.
Yeah, I'm just gonna lay low. I'm gonna just be like, I'm done. I'm gonna say that to Claret, and I'm gonna shout after Claret and Hoddle and say we need to just fucking lie low. And then I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try and if Shatis and Nurk are still there, I will try and gather them up and maneuver them so we're like away from the ship a bit, if I can.
Awesome. Yeah. So you dart back in. and you kind of like basically hide. Are you trying to hide on the ship or trying to hide in the kind of catacomb?
Might as well hide on the ship.
Yes.
Undercover somewhere under the below deck sort of thing.
Cool. Stratis, what are you doing?
Well, if he's gonna try to hide in the ship, then I've seen the stairs? I've seen the cave or whatever it is.
Yeah, because you'll have fallen like directly onto the cavern floor, so you're seeing that. So there's a sarcophagi, like a mosaic mural, and then stairs going up and out.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I would definitely. I feel like I'd fight Artigan off. I would definitely want to go into the catacombs instead, and I'd be like, look, there's an actual place we can hide. I don't think we're safe here from Elite. I mean, even if the worm goes away, I think the other crew, they'll come after us. Those are the Sovereign's men. We should go down there. Please come with. And I'm like freaking the fuck out because I'm also completely out of wits.
Oh fuck. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
So. Awesome. So it's the Purple Worm's turn.
Can't wait.
The sky darkens. The giant worm rises into the sky and blocks the sun. You can't see the sun anyway. And then its body falls. So you guys are all hiding on the ship. Its body's going to fall onto Hull. Anyone who so make a move roll to get out of the way, Hull, please. As this thing like rushes directly up and then tries to like fall on you.
Come on, Huddle, you nimble boy.
Come on, Huddle, don't die.
Come on, Huddle.
Survive the
What is
fucking
it? It's
dragon.
a move roll.
Huddle,
Move
flame-kissed
roll. Okay,
nimble
so
boy.
Yes,
Three.
that's his new name. That's canon.
And okay, you know what? This isn't too bad actually. Who knew? Oh, it's BA first, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I will get faster at this one day. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, you basically like manage to dart out the way. Claret follows you as this thing like is now like just next to you in the sand, melee distance. And it's your turn now.
Yeah, awesome. I'm gonna shout. I just shout to the others. If this is the day, then this is the day. Get to safety. And I'm gonna pull out my glass axe.
Dope.
And with Dragon Slayer and Axe Fighter, I get a +2 to this, one for each. But I'm gonna need help rolling the glass axe because I've got no idea.
Did I give you stats for that last time?
Pardon?
Did I give you stats for that last time? I think it was +3 to whatever.
It's bonus +5 and damage 3, whatever that means.
So if you get one success, you'll instantly do 3 damage, and then it's every success is a damage from that point. It's also got a tag, hasn't it? It's brittle. So every damage it takes is a gear dice of damage it'll take from itself. So every damage it does basically like slowly shatters it. So if you do 5 points of damage here, it'll explode. But
yeah. Okay, cool.
You don't need to kill this fucking thing.
3. Okay, so what am I putting on gear here? 5?
5, yeah.
And how do I add the 2 from the Dragon Slayer and Axe Fighter?
Add them as skill dice.
Okay. Here we go. Swinging with the glass axe straight into this purpley worm. That's not a good one.
Not a good roll. You want to push that?
Roll? Yeah, we pushed it.
You want to push it again? Oh, you can't.
Nah.
You're going to shatter every bone in your body doing this swing. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 altogether, right? Is that 7? 1, 2, 3. No, 5, 8. You've done 8 damage.
5.
No, because he does the automatic 3 for the damage of the weapon as well.
Oh, right.
8,
have you run out of strength now, though?
He has, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what actually happens is Hoddle, with immeasurable exertion on himself, what we see is his muscles like ripple out as he swings the glass axe as hard as he can, burying it into this purple worm. We see basically like veins of like his very blood vessels like pop in his arms as he swings this thing with all of his might, and he cleaves it so hard. We get that kind of like anime like dust cloud billows out as he hits this thing so hard, cracks like all of the kind of nerves in his arms as this thing is like fully just cut in two next to him. But Huddle just slumps back from that. He's so injured. He's like, there's blood on the black sand. He's down. Claret kind of looks at you and goes, I didn't think a little man like you fucking had it in you. And then like just like idly stabs the thing with her sword and goes, oh, you fucking killed it. So good crewman, I guess. The two guys on the ballista just kind of look at you guys and then look at their dead captain and then just kind of like move away from the ballista and shout down, Parley!
Shout what?
Parley.
Are they?
I'll come out.
Presumably, they can only see Claret and Huddle.
Yeah, Huddle, who's just destroyed a purple worm with the most powerful axe attack I've ever seen.
I'll come out and put my hands up to him and go, Parlay! And I look at Claret and I go, Parlay!
We could just fucking kill them. There's only two of them.
We get them to tell them that we're dead.
I can still move, right? Even though like I'm level on strength. I've took 5 and I've got 5. I've got no strength now, but I can still move, right?
I'm gonna say that you need assistance to move because
Can I turn?
you can
Facing.
turn.
Right. So my arms are just like hanging by my sides.
Yeah.
I turn. Okay. How much have you got to pay for your life?
They kind of look at each other and go,
Nothing.
I mean, we could just turn this ballista on you if you want. Look, we're just looking for something mutually beneficial.
I'll walk closer. Seeing it's close, like I'll just fucking and go, look, we fucking killed this. It's 2 of you. It's 5 of us. We could take it. We've got a ballista of our own. We don't want that. No more blood this day. You can go off, do your own thing. Your captain's dead. Technically, you got a ship. You could just fuck off somewhere else. Let's say here now. You go off. If anyone asks if you've seen me or this lot, bear in mind, you haven't. We don't exist here. You got a ship. Can have some of the meat off of this thing. We're going to take the rest. Go our separate ways. Never see each other again.
They kind of lean into each other and talk for a second. They're like, sad that the Fey Dancer got entirely swallowed by the worm, huh? And then they kind of just like start trying to like move their ship off the rocks. They're basically saying like they're gonna say that you're dead and they're gonna go home.
Yeah. With that,
I think do you know? Sir Chase kind of leans in to Nurk and says, "What's more dangerous for us, Cinnabar or a sovereign?"
Cinnabar doesn't exist. I'm worried threat at hand. Why?
Okay.
I'm scared. I'm scared generally. My wits are at 0. I'm just scared of everything.
Yeah. I suppose I am too, to be honest. But yeah, no, I'm wondering if maybe we should like swap ships or not. But if we'd rather Cinnabar be angry with us, then we'll stick with the one we've got, right?
It's up to you. He is a lich pirate lord, but he's not an all-powerful magician, so...
Supposed.
Supposed lich pirate lord.
Unconfirmed.
You said it's going to take some rope move, like pulling from all of us to get this ship out, yeah?
Yeah. So basically now it's like in what you've now discovered is a tomb, and it's like not level. You're gonna have to like basically drag it out with some ropes.
I go over. I pick up my drum, put it away. Drum killed a man today. I'm happy with that. And I'll go back into my knapsack and pull out 10 meters of rope.
I mean, you have the rigging of the ship. You don't need to spend the willpower if you don't
I
want
will
to.
not do that then.
Yeah. skiffs are covered in rope. Like you're good. You basically spend the next like few hours trying to pull this thing out. Any damage that you've taken, any points that you've lost in any of your attributes, come back as you take another quarter day's rest. So
All of them come back.
All of them come back. Yes.
All right.
It's that close to having to use the lucky feet there, Ben. That close.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like my arms are sizably bigger because of this.
Oh.
I was actually kind of excited about getting to use the critical injury table for the first time, but that's cool.
Nathan did just enough damage to kill the purple worm with that hit. Like, it was.
At the end, I'll tell you what the plan was on my turn to do. Which was pretty much a huddle thing to do.
Awesome. So you have the Fey Dancer. You've killed a purple worm if you want to strip it for organs, etc. You've got this potential little catacomb you can go explore, or you can go directly onto Barcoon. Up to you guys.
I'll go to Stratis and go, do you want to go explore that tomb in there?
I think about it for a second, but I think honestly, I'd rather have more defenses, or let's go see if we can, find someone to help make us stronger. I just don't feel very confident right now.
Is it a long walk down to see the sarcophagus, or is it literally broken open and it's right there?
Oh, it's broken open. It's right there.
I'll be like, all right. Anyone else want to join me? I'm on my own, and I'll try and see what's on the mosaic.
So from what you can see, it seems to be telling the story of this great bard from long ago. You can see he's essentially like he's playing a drum. You think this is the dwarven druid Raman, who spent his life searching for the songs of the winds and winter. This was before the shattering. With a drum and a flute, he searched deep caves, tall mountains, for tones and harmonies of the area that you're in. Woe to the monsters who sought to slay him, for they were forced to dance to his tune before being felled by the thunder of his drum, is like one of the things that's inscribed on the kind of mosaic going up.
I turn to Art again and go, this is pre-Sundered Cataclysm, right? Do you reckon sarcophagus is trapped?
I don't know, but a druidic tomb is certainly something to stumble upon.
It shows about drums. I have had good luck with drums today. I want to see if I can see this out.
Yes, you definitely did. Don't worry. I'm curious to know what's here as well.
I'll look around and see if there's anything of repute in the nearby area. If not, I'll walk up and just try and give the sarcophagus a shove open.
Yeah, so basically there's the corpse of a dwarf there, with long, dead but dried flowers basically like surrounding his body. His eye sockets are empty, his skin looks like vaguely mummified, and he's clutching by his chest a soft skin drum that looks like it's made of some kind of like leathery, like almost like crocodile-esque blue, vaguely blue kind of reptile skin, with like a framework of whale bones around it. On the front of it is painted some clouds and thunderbolts.
I'll lean close to the dead body and go, I hate to desecrate a corpse, but the world you were in is different than our world, and maybe this will help people in the future, and I'll take the drum.
Awesome. Yeah. As you kind of take the drum, you notice his fingers kind of like rap on it slightly, and you can hear kind of what you know to be the sound of the maelstrom, like emanating from inside the drum. like the thunderous claps of the maelstrom, kind of infinite, like slightly out the drums. His fingers like kind of drum on it as you're pulling it away.
Ooh, I'll give it a little rasp as well.
Cool.
I kill out again in the tomb. Fucking.
Let us stop as you. So basically, you go to drum on it, and we'll freeze frame there, and that'll be the end of the episode.
Okay.
Because
I don't know if you want me to do this next week, Ben, but I'll say it now as one thing I was going to do. If whilst he's looking around, I just wanted to sense magic, casting it as a spell, but I don't know if you can leave that till next week if you want. Or...
Did you want to do that before he pulled the drum out, or do you want to do that?
I was going to do that as he was like looking around the tomb. And
if you cast it, then you will know that there is magic in the sarcophagus, and the drum was the magic thing.
yeah, I'll give you the roll just to be.
Yeah, you can give me the roll in case you get sucked into a portal by a demon. That would be eventful. Oh, you were not. I mean, good, you weren't. So
Sorry to ruin your day, Ben.
we, as always, will do XP now. So, adventurers, I hope you all had a wonderful session. You stole a sand skiff, you escaped, you fought a purple worm, you tore apart your arms, hitting it with a glass axe. Pretty good. I think that's entirely shattered the glass axe as well, because you've done like more than its gear dice in damage. Yeah. So it like splintered apart in your hand. So did we participate in the game session? You all participated in the motherfucking game session. All take 1 XP.
Oh yeah.
Did you travel through a significant area of the map? You all did. Take an XP. Did you discover a new adventure site? This man's tomb is one. Take another XP. Did you defeat one or more monsters? Hoddle entirely trashed a monster, I think, is the only person who did damage against it, right?
No, somebody did with... Oh, it was Hoddle on the ballista
Yeah, I did.
as well,
Yeah,
so...
on the ballista as well. But I didn't do anything to it. So.
Did you do any damage? Did you shoot it?
I did 2 damage to it.
Then you also can have the XP because you helped with the monster killing.
Oh, thank you.
Did you find any treasure? Nurk, take 1 XP for that, please.
Yeah.
Did you build a function in your stronghold? You didn't, but you repaired up the ship, so I'm going to give Hoddle an XP for repairing up the ship. Did anyone activate their pride? No one mechanically activated their pride. Anyone suffer from their dark secret?
I helped with the ship.
You can also have an XP.
Thank you.
Anyone suffer from their dark secret?
Nope.
Nope. Anyone risk their life for another PC? I think Hoddle kind of ran in front of the worm there.
Yeah, I think I did.
I am
Yeah.
very pissed he killed it then. Right, yeah.
I'm also going to say Nurk gets an XP for trying to pull aggro for literally everyone in the scene by rubbing that drum.
3 Dune, it makes sense.
Did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind? I think Hoddle exerting all of the force that his little man body could handle to rip apart not only the purple worm, but the weapon he was holding and the muscles in his arms was pretty extraordinary. So take another XP for that.
Hoddle Strong Boy. That's his new name.
Hoddle Worm Killer, surely. Hoddle Worm Bane.
Yeah.
Strong Boy's scarier.
So, thank you all for playing another wonderful game of the Sundered Realms. I hope you all had a wonderful time. We'll do sign-offs now. We will start with... Tempest, please give your sign-offs and where people can find you.
I have been Morgan, aka Tempest, and I am available all over the internet as Tempest TT Games with 3 T's in the middle.
One of them comes from the end of the word Tempest.
It does.
Well done, Ben.
Turns out,
Well
some people wouldn't get that, but I, as a true fan, do. We will then jump down to my good friend Jordan, the Uninformed RPG. Give you sign off. Tell the people where they can find your stuff.
You can find me on YouTube searching Uninformed RPG and on Twitter at Uninformed RPG. If you find me on YouTube, you'll find lots of very good videos featuring my beautiful face, where I give my tips and advice about new players. They've got a new one that's come out recently. My favourite mechanics from Blades in the Dark, which is the 3rd part of my little 3-part miniseries I did on that. So yeah, like I say, for all my Blades in the Dark miniseries and other videos, go check that out over there.
Awesome. We will now jump down to Mod King 09 himself. Sam, please tell people where they can find you, where they can see your stuff.
Yep. If you follow me over on Twitter at ModKing09, I'm trying to get all my links up on there, but I'm a very slow boy doing things. And also follow me on Twitch at ModKing Gaming because I have everything set up to start streaming soon, and it's looking like a very good possibility.
Toit.
Yeah.
Toit. We will now jump over to the wonderful Sir Nade. Please tell people where they can find you, where you at.
I am over on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Sanade, where I do ear licking on a microphone, ASMR style.
Is there two of you?
Lots of that. Not yet. I'm not that advanced, unfortunately. So I do a lot of that. That's really fun. But you should come and try and find me on Twitter. That's probably where it really goes down. Yeah.
Goes down in the Twitter DMs for Sir Nade, I've heard.
I give out the same challenge as ever. Just try and find me.
On the street. Take a creepy picture of him while he's waiting at a crossing, like he did to me.
Good luck.
I have been the Flickering Torch, also known as Ben. You can catch us here every Wednesday night for the next eight weeks for the Sundered Realms, which is this game that you're watching. The VODs come out a week later on youtube.com/the Flickering Torch, or you can catch us here at 7:30. You can follow me on Twitter at the Flickering Torch. Couldn't get the it was too long. Thank you all for watching. I hope you had a wonderful evening, and as always, you're my gosh darn favourite. Let me tell you. Say goodbye, everyone. Boy.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.